Hello and welcome to Veggie Patch Ideas. Today we're going to give you a masterclass in starting your tomato seedlings off and get them on the right track for a beautiful harvest. You don't need a polytunnel, you don't need a greenhouse. We'll show you how it's done step by step. But first of all, as we're getting through a lot of labels, it's good to make your own. And this is just a milk bottle I cut up into little strips about that big, and absolutely perfect for making plant labels. So I've had lots of questions and emails just on what I do after I've sown the seeds. Do I leave them in the polytunnel, the greenhouse, and generally what do I do? So first of all, we'll get this seed tray filled up and we'll get the tomatoes sown and we'll go from there. So there's no right or wrong way to sow tomatoes, but we'll sow them in this little seed tray and we'll get this full of a potting mix, and I'm going to use John Innings #1. It's for seedling starting. Today I'll be sowing two different varieties of tomato. First one is Gardener's Delight and the second one is Moneymaker, and I'm going to sow these quite a few to the seed tray, and I'll prick these ones out. So we'll do it slightly different, so you know from my previous video, just so you can see different techniques. So got the labels pre-made from my cut up milk bottles. So we go Moneymaker first and then Gardener's Delight, so I don't forget where I'm going. And it's a simple case of getting the seeds and putting, we'll go 3 or 4 per cell. And as easy as that. Try and space them out if you can. There you go. And then we'll just cover them over very lightly. And firm them down. And just give them a water. Right, okay, so now this is all done, we'll just put her in the bottom tray and the top on. And even though the polytunnel today is, it's a staggering 14 degrees, so it is quite warm, but not warm enough to germinate these. And we want to then take them home and get them somewhere warm, and we'll do that now. Right, so we've arrived home and we've got our seed tray here, and as you can see it's already starting to mist up and keep that lovely humid air inside. So the first thing that this one will need is heat, and we won't put it in the conservatory like it is now. We just use this area because it's full of light and it's good for you to see what I'm doing. So this will go inside and it'll go on a warm radiator or on a very sunny windowsill next to a radiator, because this needs heat and not light to germinate. Okay, so stage 1, heat indoors, and it wants to be a stable temperature and not the fluctuations of a outdoor greenhouse or polytunnel or anything like that. We want it nice and stable just for the first week while it germinates. So that will go inside. Now the tomatoes that are sown last week, they're doing really well and they're here. These are on a heated tray, so you can use one of these. They're great if you've got them because it just brings them on and it's easier to control the temperature. And this is pretty much ready for stage 2. As you can see, 80% has germinated, which is not too bad. I would like a few more tumbling toms, but we're on to a winner. And this was sown last week, so
not bad at all. This is ready for stage 2, like I said. So we want to now take the lid off and leave it off and give these as much light as humanly possible. So conservatory, windowsill, anywhere like this. If the temperature's going to dip and dip big time, so if it's going to go to in the single digits, 5, 6, 7 degrees, we want to bring this inside and leave it on a windowsill where it gets maximum sun. If we had a mild spell, leave it in the conservatory, or possibly greenhouse if you know it's not going to dip too low. And this is where it'll spend its next, I'd say, 3 weeks until we get true leaves come onto the seedlings. And what I mean by true leaves is you'll always get 2 leaves first on the seedling, and then the second leaves will start to appear, and they're the actual true leaves of the plant. We want to wait until they're on and the seedling gets established to around 10, 12 centimeters in height, and then it's ready to prick out and transplant on to its final, well, not its final, its next stage pot, so on its own pot. So that's this one, and we've got a good example of what I mean by seedlings ready to come out of the lid. So this one, for instance, it's all germinated now, and they're all up, and all the seeds have germinated in this one, and they're all ready for as much light as they can get. So this one will be definitely on a warm windowsill or under grow lights like we have here. Anything that you've got will work. I do have a video showing you about heat trays, grow lights, and the cost of running them. It will surprise you, and I'll put the link in the description for you. If you want perfect germination for your tomatoes, these are the steps we go. First of all, heat and moisture, then light, and then just wait until we get big enough to be able to prick them out and then move them on to a larger pot.
And like any good community, sharing with others is what I encourage on this channel. So if you know any tips and tricks, please add them below in the comments and give the newbies or the ones that don't know as much as you some help and advice along the season, and I'll try my best to keep up with all you guys.
And if you do get seedlings that go leggy, and if you don't know what leggy means, it means that they have a really long stem, and quite simply it means they're searching for the light. Now, because this has been in a heat tray, I'll put it in the house and I'll put it in a fairly dark room, okay? And simply because they need heat to germinate, not light. So as it's a dark room, you always get one that germinates really, really quick. Now this one, it germinated in just a few days, and it just started searching for the light, which there wasn't much of. So that's why it's gone leggy. The others are all fine. So now we'll put it under grow lights, and it should slow it down. It shouldn't start growing up so tall. So that's called a leggy seedling, and the simple way to kind of get that recovered and become a decent plant is when you pot it on so the stem is under the soil layer, so you pot it deep in the soil mix. But we'll come to that when we try to pot these on in the future videos.
Here at Veggie Patch Ideas, we want to give you the best out of the season and get you on track for a fantastic harvest. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.